Hey, welcome to the chat. I'll be up here in just a second. So I am, I try to be a woman of integrity. And so when I played the video the other day of the Uvalde officers in the hallway, I went in on them mercilessly. I called all of them, every coward in the book. But here's the thing, when you're wrong and you find out you're wrong, you need to be just as loud about your apology as you were about your offense. So here's my apology to Officer Ruben Ruiz. When we watched that video, right, we saw officers running, we saw an officer go and sanitize his hands, and we saw an officer check his phone. And I said, can you believe he said something along the lines of, can you believe he's checking his phone while children are dying? Something to that effect. Not my exact words. I really don't remember exactly what I said, but I know I commented about it. And it wasn't a nice comment because I took offense to an officer standing there doing nothing while children were dying. Well, I was totally wrong. Check this out, would you? Let me play this video and then we're going to talk about this article.
ABC's John Quinones tonight in Uvalde.
Tonight, in that Uvalde community, many parents have been demanding answers. Now their anger only growing after new video obtained by KVUE and the Austin American-Statesman shows the 77 agonizing minutes from the time the gunman entered the school until law enforcement would finally take him down. Those organizations releasing the leaked video to provide transparency to the community. One of the responding officers was outside the classroom, armed with an assault rifle, just 3 minutes into the massacre. Police retreating after coming under fire. Teacher Arnulfo Reyes says watching the video makes him sick. He was shot twice, trapped with his students inside that classroom, as one child called out to police for help.
Disgusted. It's just showing them running. I couldn't run. My kids couldn't run. If you're standing outside the door and you run, that upsets me because we couldn't run anywhere.
Reyes lost all 11 of his students. It's not until 48 minutes after the shooter entered the school, after more shots are fired, that officers finally move toward the classroom.
Okay, I'm going to stop that video because this video is not what I'm trying to get at. But you saw the officer at the beginning of the video who was standing kind of at that little wall. If you look at the freeze frame right now, he was standing right in this area here. And he checked his phone. Well, here's why he checked his phone. The headline says, video of Uvalde shooting scene captured cop checking his phone after dying wife called him. Now, y'all might remember when Uvalde first happened and stuff started to come out, there was a story about a cop whose wife had called him to tell him that there was a shooter in the building and he needed to get there. This cop was in a barbershop at the time that he got the text message. He jumped up and ran to the school. The barber who was cutting his hair also got a text message at the same time from someone in the school, and he left to go to the school too. Now, I am not 100% sure if this is the same officer, but it is possible that it is. So it says, while leaked video showing the slow law enforcement response to a mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, has caused anger in the community, it also captured a moment of agony for a police officer whose wife was killed in the attack. The security footage that aired this week on television and online by ABC affiliate KVUE in Austin and the Austin American-Statesman recorded Officer Ruben Ruiz, a member of the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Police Force, checking his cell phone after his wife, a teacher, Ava Morales, and we remember hearing about Ava Morales. She was one of the two teachers who died in this attack. contacted him to say she was shot and was dying. Texas State Rep Joe Moody publicly identified Ruiz as the officer checking his phone in the video after the officer was criticized by some social media users, including me, as an example of the May 24th law enforcement response that Steve McCraw, the director of Texas Department of Public Safety, has described as abject failure. Moody took to Twitter on Wednesday to inform the public that Ruiz was the husband of Morales, one of the two teachers killed along with 19 children at the school. Moody is part of a joint committee of the Texas Legislature that has spent weeks investigating the mass shooting and is set to meet on Sunday with the loved ones of those killed and release a report of its findings.